Hey everybody, it's Ken, and we're back in my garage. Now we're not going to be working on anything today, but don't go away. I do want to share something with you, other than the fact that I have PEX pipe all over my garage. I have some lighting. I have some mini splits over there. It's just filled with stuff that is going into the new place, which has a much bigger shop. So we should be able to do a lot more car things there. And we've actually got some builds lined up that may be happening. A 69 Camaro that's got to be finished. It's partially done. 65 Mustang that they want to retro mod it. And a couple other cars. So hopefully we'll get those in there. But they're all on hold until we get the new shop going. But for right now, I wanted to tell you about something I did to my Dodge. Now this has got the 6.7. Ooh, that's a bright light out there. Let's spin around here. All right, my Dodge has got the 6.7 Cummins in it. And I don't know if you've heard about this problem, but the heater, not for the cab, but for the fuel and air, is built into the manifold. And it has a tendency to, some of them, to break. The bolt that holds it all together breaks. And when that happens, it falls into your intake manifold and then goes into and gets into a cylinder and destroys your 6.7 Cummins motor. So to fix that, there's a lot of fixes, and probably one of the more expensive ones is the way I went, but I did it because I got it on sale. And I love buying stuff on sale. It's 25% off. And it was the Banks, here's the box. The Banks Monster Ram intake system, box 101. And it's pretty cool. It replaces some parts. I'm gonna show you the parts that it never go back on it again. Your engine cover. At least the one that goes around the sides and covers up the EGR, that never goes back on. Your intake. And take a look at that, right there. That looks like a vacuum cleaner, right? A vacuum cleaner full of carbon. It's full of carbon because the EGR runs through there. EGR hookup up here. That's where your air comes in at, where your throttle body bolts on. And here is the infamous heater system, right here. All the air has to pass through there that the engine's sucking in through that vacuum cleaner looking thing. And this bolt right there is the one that breaks off. Because of the electrolysis that happens, different metals, aluminum, steel, and whatever this is, it has a tendency to corrode inside there, break, fall into your intake manifold, because this is covering your intake manifold. So that piece doesn't go back on. You just simply have a big hole that gets rid of all that grating in there. And it actually does kind of what it's supposed to. Let's open the hood here and I'll show you what we got going on. All right, now before I turn you towards this motor, the new place we're dealing with is up in a canyon, and it's just full of dirt. And that dirt turns to powder the minute you drive on it. So every time I clean this, and we go up every day, the sucker is just filthy when I get back. And that's what it is right now, filthy. All right, there it is, filthy. But now that one cover you saw went right here, but now my manifold is too high to fit that. And this is the new Banks Monster Ram intake. And that opening down there is twice the size of that vacuum cleaner you looked at over there. Still got the EGR here, going over here. Kind of got splattered because I didn't have this quite tight enough when we got done, and it spit out an exhaust and carbon and splattered that up. But other than without the engine cover, I think it's a little uglier. And they tell you that this is, they say prepare to smile. It's right on the box. I don't know if you saw that. but this is supposed to give you, you know, a performance boost, I guess. And I really haven't seen that, but there is a big advantage to it, and it really has improved my gas mileage. Now, we've been driving back and forth to the site every day, frequently, sometimes 2-3 times a day, because we were moving sprinklers and everything, trying to keep the dust down. And I was averaging solidly 17.6 miles per gallon. And it's been on here now through a few tankfuls, and I'm averaging 18.8. So we gained over a mile per gallon, and that's pretty good for any piece that you bolt on that improves efficiency. And that's what it did. And how do I know that? See, I just keep sticking you up here in the sun. I don't know if that is really messing with the camera or not, but it probably is. Because I'm seeing an increase in gas mileage, that tells me that the engine is producing more power at the same RPM, and that's efficiency. It is burning or working more efficiently. It's not having to suck so hard and pull so hard to get that air-fuel mixture to flow through this thing, which maintains that great big circumference all the way through here, and then it gets even bigger. Banks says it does a ram effect. But I haven't noticed horsepower. Of course, I don't race this thing or anything, and I haven't towed with it since I put it on. But boy, it is more efficient. So I'll give Banks a thumbs up for the efficiency part. For the looks, the aluminum part looks great. The cover for the GR looks great. And the rest of it's just kind of a mess. Because the EGR shows, and I think that's ugly. But I do want to tell you something that you should know about when you're putting it all together. If you do decide to use one of these, the Banks unit of this, I'm going to get out of the sun maybe so I don't blind you guys and me. The Banks unit of this piece right here is a billet aluminum piece, and it's very nice. It's thicker, but its holes are all bigger. They're all beveled out. So when you go to put this on, this is the front and this is the back, and your fuel rails go here, and your injectors and everything are up here. But you need to put all these screws in back here before you have the intake on right here. So these screws are not in there when you put these in. And you can't access these after this is on very easily. So I put that piece on and I bolted it down, and the holes were big enough that it allowed it to shift, and I couldn't line up my front 4 holes, my bolts. So that's my tip. Put all the bolts in, even though these aren't going to get tightened, before you tighten any of them. Get them all in there. Get these down tight. Then you can take these back off, put the ram on, tighten those down. That's my tip for you for the Banks Power Ram. But it works. It makes it more efficient. There's no doubt. So that's all I've got for you today. We will be doing some other things with the truck a little bit, the big green. Sorry about that. I'm trying this without my stabilization on because it was heating up the camera so much. So we've got some more work to do on this. Most of it won't happen till we get into the new shop. But we really improved the ride quality by changing where the leaf spring pivots from, the shackle position in the front. And that's a video that I have yet to come out. But it's a long one, and all it's doing is changing the shackle, but that little bit of change made a huge difference. So that'll be out shortly too. Other than that, I got to keep working on the new place. I'll get some more videos out as I can. But for Banks, it's a win. Definitely improved my fuel efficiency. Whether that will equate to a money savings over the years I'll have the truck because of the cost of the unit, who knows? But the security in knowing that that heater bolt is not going to fall down in or nut and destroy my engine is great. And it does have a fuel heater on it. I didn't show it to you, so let's go over here and take a look. Probably going to get blasted by the sun again as we walk out here. That unit right in there, can you see that? It's a coil about this long, coils right down into there, into that intake, and that gets hot when it needs to be. Of course, it doesn't need to come on now. It's super hot out here. And we're in what, September, and it's 88 degrees or something. So I'm loving it. But that's it for today, guys. Get out there, drive your stuff, have fun, go to a car show, look at all the cool stuff that people build out there, and take yours out too. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be a show winner. Just get out, drive it, and have fun. All right, everybody.